Hey, loungers. I hope everybody is doing as great as I am this morning. Listen, make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in, and shout out to everybody who will catch the replay. Truly appreciate the replay value that comes back on the channel and everybody that always catches the show. Listen, guys, we're actually not going to be very long this morning. I just wanted to give my opinion about a lot of this stuff that's been happening lately in the sector, particularly between Star and Ray Triggs, right? I did listen to Ray's show, and I was impressed with it. I heard what he said, and I was pretty impressed with what he said. I thought it was a pretty good show. I also listened partly to Stargate and what she had to say in regards to this. And I only say partly, and it's because, a lot of what she said was very repetitive, and seemed to be kind of, the same around the board with everybody. It almost seems as if everybody experiences the same thing at some point with Stargate, right? I think everybody kind of notices that. Not everybody, but, a lot of people notice that, that, and it's not hard to see that, she tends to fall out with anybody that disagrees with her, okay? Anybody that, puts her in her place or tells her about herself, she literally falls out with them, okay? And then they become, niggers and, bitch ass niggas and, all kinds of weird stuff that she's always saying, and low class black bitches and, all these weird things that this biracial girl is always saying. So, I want to get into that a little bit today, but particularly I want to get into how, it depends on who it is, right? Or, what they're saying or how they're saying it, how people will react to them, okay? Or how people will react to the situation. And that's unfortunate for this sector. It really is. It just seems to be a space where, just cooning is kind of just accepted and even looked upon as the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like it's just way too much of that going on. And people just wanting to have these fake friends, just for acceptance here on YouTube. But let's talk about the art of Rollin Dolo, right? And, how that worked out for me, how that's worked for other content creators that I've seen, and just kind of doing their own thing. Other content creators have picked up on that, right? And started doing that a lot more. But we're going to talk about that and how, running with these YouTube friends always seems to be biting people in the ass. Okay. It just seems like that's been happening a lot. Even with the Rev G and the grown snitch situation, with me and breaking the culture, with many of people. So we're going to get into these fake relationships and, how this stuff works and talk about it. So let's get into it, guys. All right, guys. So, shout out to Diggable Logic as well as Don't At Me. I don't give a fuck. I truly appreciate y'all being in the building and everybody else that's in the clouds. All right, so let's get into this stuff. Now, before I do, I want you guys to know that I am still doing this research on AAS. There is a lot of information to uncover. I haven't gone through everything yet because, of course, I got to work too, right? And then I have to have a social life and I have to spend time with my family. So I'm not always online and, I'm going to take my time with that. I do have intentions on showing the paperwork on Saturday or Sunday. More than likely it'll be Sunday now because I have a meeting Saturday with the club. So more than likely on Sunday is when I will be doing this video. Okay, as long as I have the time to do it, and as long as I have the energy to do it as well. But yeah, child, this is a whole lot of stuff, and AAS most definitely has an extensive history in the courts. Okay, and we're going to get into all of that stuff, and because she's always wanting to uncover people's business and talk about stuff and put people's business out there all the time and everything else. And, I noticed lately she's been trying to dox Carrie Ann. I don't know what her reasoning is behind that, but nobody fucking cares. You understand what I'm saying? Like nobody cares. And it's funny how she want to dox Carrie Ann, she want to do all that, but she has no time to address, myself and the information that I have released about her. She has no time to address grown bitch and his disrespect to her quote unquote best friend. She don't have no time for any of that, but she want to dox Carrie Ann. You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, sit the fuck down, okay? We're gonna go ahead. As much as I don't really just like care for Carrie Ann too much, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do that shit just for that bitch, okay? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put her information the fuck out here and get all her shit because, like I said, a lot of these court papers are not redacted, okay? So there's a lot of information on those court records, and that's unfortunate for her dumb ass because, like I said, the same way that she can access people's information and get names and get addresses and all that stuff on people is the same way motherfuckers can do that to her too. So we're gonna go ahead and cook her ass sometime this weekend. Whenever I get the time and the energy to do that and once I'm finished going through the paperwork as well. Because again, I want to substantiate stuff and verify some things, make sure that I've got the proper Andrea and stuff like that. And I can put that all together to show you guys. Okay. So we're still going to be doing that. And that is going down. Another thing I wanted to address was it was with Ray. He had his show, and Breaking the Culture's bitch ass got up there and said, Photon, shout out to Photon. He asked her if there would ever be a bridge built between me and her because she was trying to say something about building bridges, and she hopes one day that Propane and Stargate would build this quote unquote bridge, right? And he's basically like, no, I'm good, and then Photon kind of asked her, well, like as if she don't realize that bridges can't be built. He tried to say, well, are you gonna build a bridge with T Pre? Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Now she should have left it right there because she's right. We would never build a motherfucking bridge, bitch. And that's definitely because of your disrespect to me. That's because of your lies on me. That's because you created this situation and also because you don't take care of your two kids. Okay. Like that's literally why I don't fuck with you, ho. Okay. Those are the reasons I would never build a bridge with you. And that's me not building a bridge with you. Where you fucked up is when you said, she created this problem and she's the one that went too far. No, bitch, you went too far. You forgot all the shit that you said. You forgot all the stuff you said. And like I told you, I mean, you were pretty careful about saying that. I will say that. You took your time and was very careful in your words. You didn't say my name. You were very careful in how you said it, which is why I'm not releasing a fact about you today. Okay, because I told you every time you tell a fucking lie on the pre, I will release some truth about you. I don't have a problem doing that. Okay. I still don't have a problem doing it. Okay. I still got photos. I still got interviews. I still have all kinds of stuff on your motherfucking ass. And I told you, leave me the fuck alone. Okay. You did a good job in how you kind of answered it. Like I said, you were very hesitant in what you wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? Like very hesitant on how you wanted to approach what you were saying, right? But you still said it. But bitch, don't fucking test me, okay? Because you goddamn know goddamn well I didn't start a motherfucking thing with you. You started that bullshit. And this is why I got your fucking truth out here, okay? So don't fucking play with me breaking the culture because I damn sure will continue. Like I said, every time you tell a lie about me, I can release facts about you, okay? And them facts are damning to your motherfucking reputation. So don't fucking play with me, bitch. Okay? Okay? All right. I just wanted to say that. Moving right along. Okay? Moving right along. We're not going to go ahead and keep up with that and go through the whole motherfucking thing. It ain't really that deep. But at the end of the day, don't fucking play with me, ho. Because like I said, I will put your business on Front Street. Okay? And you're not going to like that shit. Now, let's go ahead and talk about sector friends, right? Because there's been a lot of people who have become quote unquote friends with people on YouTube. And, there is a fine line with how, you may want to approach that kind of stuff. Me personally, you guys notice that there's certain ways that I handle my show. I'll go live. I will tell you guys my opinion. I will listen to you guys' opinions in the comments. And we'll go back and forth with that. And then we're moving on. I don't have anybody that generally comes on the panel. I generally don't drop the link. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. It depends on the situation, depends on the conversation. But sometimes I don't do that. And it's because, listen, the thoughts and opinions that you guys hear on Black Lounge Divine, Black Lounge Productions is from me, right? It's not from anybody else. It's not, anybody else's feelings or thoughts. Nobody has to motivate me to say what I say. Nobody has to pay me to say what I say. I say what I say because this is how I feel, right? And I want that to be very clear. I never need to have, some co-host or somebody that's co-signing what I'm saying, right? I can literally say what I say. And y'all niggas ain't gotta agree. Like that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gotta like it or any of that. But the reason I do that, guys, is because I learned a while ago that, not only just with the breaking the culture situation, but I learned even from other situations and, what seeing other people that, having these fake friends on YouTube, it gets you nowhere. Okay. Like it literally gets you nowhere fast. You want to jump in bed with people and jump on these narratives with your quote unquote friends, right? And then when something happens between you and that person, all y'all beans and stuff get spilled out in the streets, right? Because you're sitting here trusting somebody who was snakish to begin with, right? Like anything that anybody would do on these YouTube streets to one person, they would do to somebody else. That's just what it is. If they're going to do this stuff with, and you've seen them constantly do these things with most people in the sector, why would you think this person would treat you different? I think that has been kind of a fatal move with a lot of people when it comes to Stargate, right? Particularly men in the sector. They ignore the bullshit from this girl, literally ignore the nonsense from her. They will sit back and, in comfort, watch her disrespect people, go back and forth, scream over top of people, yell over top of people, don't allow a word in because, in their minds, people like Star, Breaking the Culture, these people, in their minds, as long as they are talking and keep talking and louder, they talk louder and louder, the more they talk and the louder they talk and the more they overtalk you, somehow that's going to change the facts of what's really going on, right? Or if they keep saying it enough, somehow that's going to make that true, okay? They both do shit like that. But the bottom line is this. When are we going to realize that, people do stuff on these YouTube streets, especially in this sector. A lot of people do stuff on these YouTube streets, for selfish reasons. They're not in this because they're really, your friend, okay, or they really believe your narrative. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't. They're only in this simply because they have some type of agenda against a person, and they found out that you don't like that person for whatever reason, and now they want to jump on a bandwagon with you and go down this rabbit hole of fighting, going back and forth with these different people, and know goddamn well that you know your only agenda for being on this bandwagon is because you don't like this person for some other reason, right? So now that y'all both have fought this person and y'all both are going back and forth with this person and y'all have linked up to do that, you know, y'all don't y'all have never worked out any of these other things. You know what I'm saying? Like you've never worked out the fact that this person is acting like a snake right in your face. You understand what I'm saying? And so now, this person is going to turn around and do this to you as soon as you disagree with them. Like literally. I find it really funny. And I'm not saying that I got a problem with Ray Triggs per se. I've I've disliked things that Ray Triggs has done. I've been very open about that. He acted like he had such a problem with that, and I really didn't care, right? But I said what I said. But the bottom line is, Ray, you have spent months, okay? Months and months and months roasting back and forth over different females in the sector, different women, okay? And literally watch Stargate do exactly what she did to you the other night to every other woman that you were roasting and talking shit about. You had no problem with it when it was her. I mean, when it was the women, right? You had no issues at all. So my question to Ray, right, is are you surprised like that she did you this way? Are you honestly surprised that she decided to turn around and do you the same way? Like you had to have known that you were dealing with a treacherous person. You had to have known that you were dealing with a snake. You knew goddamn well all these issues that she claimed she was having was not happening. You knew that. I think you're smarter than that. I think you knew, right? You were aware of what was going on. And then now, it turns out that that same snake comes and bites you in the ass. And now you're looking for sympathy from everybody. And I'm not saying you're necessarily looking for sympathy, right? But I'm surprised at your reaction, right? I am. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I have a hard time with your reaction because everybody else can have that reaction who's not a troll. Everybody else who doesn't, who has experienced this stuff with her and is not hasn't done these things back to her per se or whatever, can have the reaction that you had, right? But the reaction that you're having is weird because literally you sat in the same space with her doing the same things and encouraging this behavior from her to everybody else as long as it wasn't you or as long as it wasn't people that you wanted to be popular with. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's the part I'm having a hard time with this. It's not that I think she was right, because I don't. I think she was dead wrong. I think she's always doing this. But this is Stargate. You understand what I'm saying? You can't expect her to be anything different than who she is. That's who the fuck she is. She's a fucking bird. Like, that's what the fuck she does. She goes off on motherfuckers who literally disagree with her. That's what she was doing. I don't understand why you thought somehow it was going to change for you, or somehow you were going to be treated different than her. She's always been and constantly for the past couple years cutting people off on the panel, talking over them, yelling over them, talking shit about them, calling them all kinds of nigger bitches and black nigger bitches and all this stuff. You had no problem with any of that. None of it. Like, where was any of that pushback any of this time? None of this ever came from you. As a matter of fact, you held parties and egged those parties on, had all types of long ass extended panels with different various, ops on there, and talking all kinds of shit about various women, including myself, including Nikki, including Josephine, every single woman. Like, you were dragging this shit out for months and months and months and months. And it was perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. Even down to some of your audience members were perfectly okay with all of that, right? Now they have this fake outrage when Stargate does the same shit to y'all. Like, I just find it funny that you thought somehow her personality was going to change, right? Or, somehow, because it's you, she was going to act different. I don't understand. Do y'all understand that that's her? That's her personality. That is what she does. This is her MO. Like, literally. Okay. She knows how to put on the charm. She knows how to love bomb, right? And to do all of that stuff until, and just have you, know, as long as she knows you are going to be quote unquote loyal to her, and no matter what she does, you're just going to go with whatever she says. As long as she has that, she's fine. She don't have no problem with you, right? The moment you step out of line with any of that, I mean, any of that, it could be the slightest thing, she is literally going to push back on you. And next thing you know, she's calling you all kinds of niggers, all kinds of nigger bitches, all kinds of crazy shit, because she's like you said, she's a 50-year-old child. She doesn't know how to handle her own emotions, right? She doesn't know how to have an adult conversation with somebody and to work things out, without, and use words and proper words without, emotions and screaming and yelling and jumping up and down like a 5-year-old. Obviously, somebody never taught her that, or, there's some cognitive things. I do believe there's cognitive stuff going on, that allows for her to be doing this kind of stuff. But what I don't understand is how you really honestly thought that you were going to get a different result from this bullshit. That is definitely and literally the actual definition of insanity, is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Y'all know goddamn well how this girl acts. You know goddamn well how this girl behaves and what she be saying and how she be doing, and she been doing this all this time. So how would you expect a different result from her? Like, I don't get it. Because it's you? Because you were on that side of the coin? Like, okay. How many men have done that in the sector? Like, how many men have tried to be on the same side of the coin with Stargate? And as soon as they fall out of line, right? As soon as that happens, she falls all over top of them, jumps all over them, accuses them of crazy abusive things. And, she accused Bombay of spying on her, and all kinds of crazy stuff that, that could get somebody, caught up. These are things that she does, right? I'm not sure why you really honestly thought it would be different for you. I guess it's because you made her a couple of intros, because kiss breaking the culture's ass, because I don't know what it is in particular that made you think that this girl was going to do you different, right? But she didn't, and I think it's funny. I do. I don't think, like I said, I don't agree with, the whole thing or whatever, but I do find it a little bit karmic, right? Karmic, right? Karmic. I do find it a little bit karmic, honestly, just basically because of the energy that you put out against these women in this sector, right? And how you hosted this girl doing these things, how you hosted, and had literal live streams, long, extended live streams, trying to please these people, right? Trying to make them, laugh and make them think, oh yeah, he's on our side, per se. Jumping on in women's business, jumping back and forth between women's, situations, actually plotting behind the scenes, with women against other women. These are things that you have done. Okay. So this energy coming back to you this way, it's unfortunate. And I'm hoping that you learn from that, right? That you know, roll fucking Dolo. Stop being afraid to speak your speech and say how you feel without being motivated by somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? If I got beef with you, I got beef with you because I do. It's not because somebody else does. It's not because somebody else feels some type of way or any of that. As a matter of fact, people know I don't let people influence how I feel about other people. I really don't care how the fuck you feel about that person. I have to feel that way, and I have to have an experience with that person for me to feel it. I also have to see how that person behaves, right? That person is carrying themselves a certain way, and I've seen them carry themselves that way. Why the fuck would I fuck with them? Like I'm not about to do that shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's just period. Y'all got to be smarter than that. That somebody is a snake. You notice somebody moves like a snake, then that's how you should treat them. Okay. They're going to snake you too. If they snake this person and snake that person and have a history of snaking motherfuckers, they're going to snake you too. And that's just that. And that is the art of rolling alone and by yourself and standing 10 toes on how you feel and what you feel and what you say. And that's it. You ain't got to have nobody co-signing how you feel. You ain't got to have nobody co-signing what you got to say. And you damn sure ain't got to co-sign somebody else's shit. Tell them motherfuckers to stand on their nuts, on their own shit. Stand on their titties, whatever. Stand on their own shit. If this is your beef, you need to stand on it. I don't want to be jumping in your beef and taking sides. And now I'm making intros and making videos for them and all this other bullshit. And just for them to turn around and snake me later or turn around and fuck with that person later. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of shit you end up seeing too. So it's just a lesson for people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to tell y'all niggas what to do or whatever, but at the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, like, how do you allow a snake to snake you when you know a person is a snake? You need to move accordingly. Like that's just it. Like I don't understand how, you wouldn't see it any other way. You understand what I'm saying? And you need to start looking at everybody that way. If motherfuckers have done this and done that, this is how they would do you too. Okay? As soon as you fall out of line, as soon as you disagree with them, as soon as you give them any kind of pushback or any of that, now you're going to be treated the same way, and that's just that. So that's all I've really got. You understand? Like I just really feel like people need to learn how to roll by themselves. They don't need nobody else. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need anybody's approval for what you're feeling, what you're saying, or any of that shit. You just do you. Like, how hard is it to do that? And not be trying to jump up in people's beefs and jumping up in situations that don't got shit to do with you. Like real nigga shit. A lot of this stuff that has happened on your show, Ray, was you attempting to jump in situations that had nothing to do with you. It had nothing to do with you. It was women going back and forth with women, literally. And you jumping in the middle, hopping in there, like fucking double dutching with the females. Like, and now you getting your ass tossed back and forth back and forth through here. Like, and niggas is jumping on you, jumping on your back. You understand what I'm saying? And the females are jumping down your throat, and and you can't understand. It's because that's what you were fucking with. Like, that's why. It was all good, when it wasn't you. And that's the crazy part about it. That is the crazy part. Just know nobody's telling y'all who you can be friends with, who you can fuck with, who you can go watch, or any of that. But the bottom line is you need to know and be warned, right? Buyer beware, right? You need to understand when you're dealing with fucking snakes, right? And you got a whole bunch of snakes in the pit, at some point, you're going to get bit. Like, that's just it. It's just what it is, okay? It's the nature of the game. It's just how it happens. When you lay down with dogs, shout out to Carla Martin. She had said this the other day on my channel. When you lay down with dogs, you get up with fucking fleas. That's just it. But hopefully this is a lesson learned, and you niggas will start rolling Dolo. You know what I mean? And not taking sides and jumping on people's bandwagons, and because you don't like this person. Like, I cannot like you niggas, right? Like, say for instance, I had a problem, and shout out to Smoke Pills, all of y'all. I'll be in there in a second to talk to y'all. But say for instance, I had a problem with the Smoke God, right? What I'm not going to do is, because Pills may possibly have a problem with the Smoke God, now I'm going to go and hook up with Pills, and me and him are going to go back and forth with the Smoke God. For what? For what? That doesn't make sense. This is my beef with the Smoke God. You understand what I'm saying? He got his own beef with him. He going to stand on his own 10 toes and talk to that nigga. If the Smoke God keeps getting hopped on because different people have different beefs with him, that ain't, that's on the Smoke God pretty much. But it's everybody who has a beef doesn't have to all band together, right? Because when you do all that, now you've got to take on their ideas. You've got to take on their thoughts. You got to take on their beef, and then you got to fight their beef. And next thing you know, you fighting their motherfucking beef, and they over it. Okay, they over their beef. Them and Smoke is friends now. Everybody cool. You understand what I'm saying? And you still over here fighting their motherfucking shit. Ain't that what happened with me and mines and them? Okay, I'm just saying. Like, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. Stand 10 toes on your own motherfucking shit. You don't need nobody co-signing your shit. Real nigga shit. And if you're not beefing with that person, if you're not beefing at all, just because you're quote unquote friends, or you're quote unquote Secktah peoples, right? Just because they're beefing with somebody, you need to stay the fuck up out of that shit. You need to mind your motherfucking business. You understand what I'm saying? I remember I was supposed to be getting a shirt made from Corey and them on minding motherfucking business, right? Never got that done. I'm gonna go ahead and get that done now, because niggas need to learn how to mind their motherfucking business and stay out of everybody else's shit. Okay, because later on down the line, as you guys can see, I promise you that shit's gonna bite you in the ass. It's gonna come back to you. Okay, so let people fight their own motherfucking battles. Let people fight their own shit. If they beefing, especially if it's a female beefing with another female, let them bitches fight. Let them bitches do their thing. You niggas don't need to be getting in the middle of that shit. That's on God. On period. Like, I'm not understanding why niggas are jumping in the middle of women's beefs, okay? And then wondering why they getting smacked later. Like, this is why. Because you're all in the mix of shit. That's why. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that you were wrong in what you said to her, because you were absolutely right. She was wrong in how she handled that, right? But this is what they do at the same time. Code fam, this is what they do. They're fucking trolls, right? They troll motherfuckers, okay? We know that Propane, his reaction was a diss track. That is what he does. He raps. He's a battle rapper, okay? That's what this nigga does, okay? Period. So this is what it is. This is how it is. But at the end of the day, it was deeper than trolling, right? And like Propane said, he went back and he listened to it. He went back and listened to the full video and heard the full context. And it was more than trolling. He took it that way because it wasn't just trolling. And y'all know y'all do that. Y'all go too far with the trolling all the time. And then can't understand why you get a reaction the way that you do, right? Binary has a thing, and shout out to Code Fam. You know you're my boy, but nigga, you have this thing about throwing Stargate under the bus, yo. You really be doing that. And now y'all both throwing each other under the bus. I heard y'all video last night, heard a little bit of it. I listened to a little bit, but at the end of the day, here's the thing. Y'all be throwing each other under the bus after y'all do what y'all do, right? Like, y'all talk all this shit and do all this stuff and be saying all this stuff, but then turn around and be like, well, it was Stargate. Oh, well, it was binary. Well, no, it was Stargate. Like, I find that really fucking crazy. I really do. Like I said, I have my opinions about binary and how he does Stargate. I have my opinions on how, it seems like he tries to turn the Secktah against her for various reasons. But, I can't prove that. All I can do is talk about it, right? And again, I could be wrong, but it definitely appears that way. And what really got me about this is because I didn't see this all at first. So shout out to Ray that he did have a copy of it and was showing it, right? I didn't see that video, so I wasn't aware of what had really happened. But after watching it, right, and knowing that you were live, Binary was live, and Propane was live, and Binary went and made it a point to go over, like, he could have left the video where it was. They could have been laughing and joking, kiki and haha on his show, right? But he actually came over to Propane's show and tapped and typed in the chat that Stargate was talking about him and what she was saying, right? And after, what Propane had shared, to the sector and, and told folks what he was dealing with, I can understand why he would be sensitive to that, right? And it just seems like even though they troll and kiki haha whatever, right? They're still adults. Binary is still a professional. I ain't gonna talk about Stargate, but Binary is still a professional. You're a doctor, nigga, right? And you have your doctorate, right? And I'm like, at what point do you realize, that sometimes life is serious, right? And there is some points where, it's not all about the jokes and it's not all about the fun and games. Sometimes there are things that are serious, right? And, we can't always laugh, kiki about everything. That was not an appropriate time to be trolling. That was not an appropriate time to be, bringing up some conversation like that. I get it. There's no rules to this and all that stuff. And, trolling is trolling. But again, like I said, Binary, you're a professional. You're smarter than that. There's some things that I think you know better on, right? Whether you want to agree to that or not, whether you want to publicly talk about that or not, I think right? I think even you have had times and situations that were more serious than other times. And it wouldn't be okay for people to come in trolling you at that time. So I don't know. It's possible that you weren't aware of how serious the situation was. That's possible. Or whatever the case may be. But this is what I mean about, when does trolling go too far? How far is, can you go with trolling? Is there a limit, right? Is there a limit on what we can talk about, what we do, how we do it? Okay, and if there isn't one, then why are we expecting a particular reaction from somebody? You know what I mean? If there isn't, if you can't have both. You can't say, hey, there's no rules to this. I I control and do whatever I want and say whatever I want at any given time. And then if I get this result because of it, how can I feel some type of way? You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you can't have both of them. If you're gonna say, oh, he was wrong for how he did Star and how he reacted to Star. Propane was wrong for how he reacted to her. Then you got to say, okay, well, if he was wrong for that, then that means y'all were wrong for taking it as far as you did, right? You were damn sure wrong for going over there and throwing Stargate under the bus. You didn't say, yo, we over here talking about you. You said Stargate was over here talking about you. And that's crazy. That is crazy that you would do that. But that's what you do. What I also found really fucking wild, Binary, right, was the fact that you completely left out the fact that Propane sent that money back to you the same motherfucking day. Okay? The same way you talking about how, he's begging and he's acting like you just co-signing that Lennon shit and acting like that and everything. You completely failed to tell anybody that he sent that money back to you. And then you gonna go and you went in the chat last night talking about, oh yeah, I just noticed that. Bitch, you seen that motherfucking shit come across your shit. Nigga, stop it. Nigga, please stop it. Don't fucking play with me, nigga. You know goddamn well you knew he sent that money back to you. He wasn't taking that fucking shit from you. Fuck out of here. I don't need your motherfucking money. I would have did the same goddamn thing. Nigga, it's crazy that a couple days later, because he mentioned it on a panel, that now all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I realize now that you did send that back. Nigga, you knew he sent that back. You knew when he sent it back that he sent it back. The question I got is, did y'all raise money in the chat over that? Was it people that, came and started donating money to you, Binary, for you to send to him? Or did you come out of your pocket and just send that? Because if you came out your pocket and sent it, okay, cool, right? But if other people sent money to you, right, to send to him, right, and then you're just acknowledging now that you got that money back the same day. Well, I mean, what's really going on here, bro? Like, that was my question over that. I'm wondering how many people sent money to you to send to him. That's what I'm wondering. While you sitting up here with his Cash App up there and Cash Apping him and all that stuff, was it your money that you sent him, or was it other people's money? Because it's amazing that you never said nothing about that. And I know goddamn well you knew. I know goddamn well you knew. You don't look at your phone? Stop it, nigga. Cut it the fuck out, nigga. You knew goddamn well what was up with that. I think that shit was fucked up. I really think that was fucked up. That you love to go with these narratives, that you will love to spin any fucking thing that you want. And then, when it comes back to bite you, then you want to try to clean it up later and act like you were shocked and you didn't know. And you knew exactly what was going on with that. You knew exactly what was going on with that. That's crazy, Binary. That's crazy, Binary. It is. And I hope to see you do better. Like, real nigga shit. Real nigga shit, bro. Because that was crazy. That was crazy. I did hear you give Stargate a little bit of pushback on the nigger bitches last night. So shout out to you for that. It wasn't as much as I would like you to do, black man. Okay. I would like to see you push back on her a lot more on that nigger bitches shit and niggers and all that stuff. I'm going to need you to push back a lot more and actually let her know, you're not tolerating that on your show. I'm going to need you to do that. Right. I get it. That's your girl, that's your people's, whatever. But that word should not be used. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. It's not okay. And the level of cooning in this part of YouTube is just absolutely crazy over what people allow people to say and how comfortable people are with that, right? Even black women, black men just sitting there in the chat with a bitch calling you a nigger or somebody else calling you a nigger, and you have no pushback for that. This is sad. It really is. It speaks volumes about you, whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not, whether you don't want to hear it about yourself or not. It doesn't matter. Get your shit together. Not understanding why you are comfortable as you are with anybody calling anybody a nigger. You should absolutely push back on that and have problems with that. I'm sorry. You should have a problem with that. Period. Let me go ahead and get into the chats because I actually want to get off of here. I got some things I got to do today. Truly appreciate all of you for being in the building. You said AA Mess, aka Spinster, Spin Golly. You said kids like spades, 2 and 2 possibles. Okay. You said 100. You said I'm listening. In bed, keep rocking. Shout out to the Smoke God. Appreciate you. We had a great show. You said that's a fact. No one checks Star until it's too late. Yes, that just happens a little bit too often. I've seen that a little bit too often as well. And I've seen, I've seen a pattern of this from certain people too. Like there's certain people that will, depending on how light skinned a woman is, or whatever, they'll just allow any and everything from that person. They don't care if they taking care of their kids. They don't care if they're calling people niggers, big black lip niggers and all that stuff. As long as they light skin, they ain't got no problem with them until they turn their back on them. Then they want to be like, I can't believe they doing me like this. I don't understand. Like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all niggas definitely need to start pushing back on this type of shit, especially that fucking nigger shit. That shit is crazy. I'm just saying. But yeah, you said salute to Riz. You said LOL, she's bugged. Okay. And is. You said smoke God, big salute. And you laughed. You said, Riz, you good with me, bro. You said, right, T Pre, he love bombed the set. Mm-hmm. And that was the thing. Like, he kind of did that. He had Ray was making all these intros and all this, like, for what? I'm not about to waste my time with all that motherfucking shit. Okay. But okay, if that's what you do, it's creative. That you're entitled to that. You are a content creator. This is what you do. This is what you want to do. Okay. But it just seems like it's fake. Okay. Like, hey, I just want to do all this for you and do this, so I can have your protection in the chats and protection on YouTube. Like, nigga, I don't need nobody to have my motherfucking back out here. Like, that's just it. I said what I said. You ain't got to like what I said. You know what I mean? And that's just it. We moving the fuck on. But some of y'all really act like you can't rock, on your own. You say, yep, I haven't rocked with Star in years. Once I saw who she was, I'm just saying, a lot of us have gotten like that, right? I've tried to, I don't necessarily dislike her per se, because it take a lot for me to like really dislike somebody. Like breaking the culture, I don't like that bitch. That's a bitch I don't fucking like. You understand what I'm saying? Like, period. Yes, on God, I don't like that bitch. Okay. But Star is not that I really don't like her. It's just it's the ways that she moves. It's just the stuff she does, right? That's why I have issues with Star. But it's not that I really just dislike her per se. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't rock with the shit she does. I really don't. I can't get down with that shit. You said 100. You said, yeah. Hey, Pills, appreciate you being in the building. I did mention you earlier, but you said lesson learned. I hope it is for these people. Child, all these snakes out here don't make no goddamn sense. You said facts. Everybody needs to stand on their fucking nuts, right? Like all this, that's another thing. Niggas out here saying stuff, right? And doing stuff, and they say this and say that. Like Photon, this nigga was up all night long. Like he kept waking me up. This TV was on, right? This shit kept waking me up. This nigga was up all night long talking shit about various people. This person, that person, this, and this. Listen, why do you niggas talk all this shit in the middle of the night just to take that shit down for somebody not to see? Like, for what? What are you scared of? Like, nigga, if you said it, you fucking said it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what, y'all niggas afraid? That niggas are gonna feel some type of way. Are you afraid, of the reaction that you're gonna get? Well, then why are you saying it? I don't understand why niggas use this platform to do that, right? You got 5 to 7 people in your chat. So you might as well do that shit on a Discord or go do that shit somewhere that people aren't going to see it or people aren't going to hear it, right? Why would you come on this platform to just talk shit for hours and hours about motherfuckers just to take that shit down later and not stand on your motherfucking nuts? Like, that's the part I don't understand. I don't get. You a grown ass man. If you whatever you got to say that shit, nigga, with your fucking chest. What you scared of? You scared of these niggas for real? You really scared of these niggas, nigga? Come on now. Shout out to Pills. He said he was definitely putting charges on you niggas. Keep taking them shits down. Like, stop taking these videos down. Stand on what the fuck you say and mean what you say. Like, period. Especially if you're not even monetized or you're not really trying to monetize or you don't have no reason, to be taking videos down or privating videos. Why are y'all privating these videos? For what? For what? I don't understand. Stand on what you said. That's facts. He said, I stand on smoke nuts. You know what? He said, hell no. Nah. You said, hell no. Nah. Smoke nuts go one way, homie, okay? He said, T-Pre, big facts. He said, code bait, LOL, okay? He said, no diss, bro, just jokes. Hey, Miss Murphy, I appreciate you being in the building. You said, hey, Miss T-Pre, mods and chat. You said, we good, bro, damn. You said, he said it back. What's up, the real king? I appreciate you being in the building. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to the partners. He said, hey, the speakeasy, appreciate you. He said, Wolf said he would rather struggle than take money from a snake nigga. Facts. My motherfucking guy. That's facts. You can't give me no motherfucking money if you a snake, yo. Nah, I don't need your shit. I don't need nothing from you, bro. Nothing from you. I don't need nothing from you at all. And it's clear that he should have done exactly that. Because even with the fact that he sent you that money back, you ain't have nothing to say. You wasn't going to even mention that. You would have kept going with this whole narrative if that wasn't mentioned. That's the crazy part. And then y'all niggas get on later and talk and act like, that wasn't even part of the whole problem. That wasn't even part of the situation. That wasn't even mentioned. That's crazy. You said, damn, I missed all of that. Been distracted lately, dealing with real stuff. Got to go back. Yeah, you know what? I understand because real life is really happening. You know what I mean? And that's the thing too. I don't know how much time y'all be having, on y'all hands, but I don't be having a whole lot of time. Sometimes I have some time. Some days I have more time than others. But real life be going on, and you gotta tend to what's happening in real life and tend to what's going on, before you're sitting up here just constantly going through a bunch of shit on here and creating issues that you don't even have to have. That's the crazy part about it. Like some of these issues that go on are issues that shouldn't even be happening. And that's facts. Hey, Butter Love, you said, hey, stop hating on us melanin deprived Africans. You're light skinned ass, but you don't be acting like these bitches do. You really don't. You definitely don't. And you would push back on that kind of behavior too. You definitely would push back on that. So that's the difference between you, Butter Love, and some of these other people. You said real life stuff. Yeah, I know what you were saying. You said, I hear you, Diggable Logic. I hope all is well. And I do too. Definitely praying for you. And I understand exactly what you mean. You said, Butter Love, all's well. Thanks. Just working hard. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Get that bread. You said, smoke you good with me too, bro. You said, pills, facts. You said, propane needs to separate himself as well. It gets deep. I agree. You said, Grand Rising fam, what's up, my North Carolina brother? You said, who we dragging this morning? What's up, Craig V? So I ain't dragging nobody. I did drag Breaking the Culture for a second, but not really. It's just like I said, as long as a bitch don't be telling lies, you know what I mean? But she definitely, like, I'll say this. She was very hesitant in how she was trying to say what she said last night. And she didn't mention my name, but she was very hesitant on how she answered that. She thought about it, right? So, because like I said, every time this bitch lie on me, I will release a fact about her. And I got a plethora of shit, and it's all fact, okay? Like it's fact, provable facts, okay? So, yeah, I don't want to do that as long as she's, complying with this shit. As long as we actually doing that, as long as she not talking shit and talking all crazy and out the side of her neck, I ain't really got no problem. She ain't gonna have no problem out of me. But yeah, she went down that path, but it really wasn't her fault. It was Photon, trying to egg it on, and he asked her a question, and she just answered that question, but she answered it untruthfully. And yeah, I just wanted to correct her this morning, and that's just that. Anyway, guys, my friend texted me, so I got to go. I will talk to y'all later. I truly appreciate all of you for being in the building. Make sure that you do hit the like button on the way in, all 42 of you that are in the clouds. And I will talk to you guys later. I truly appreciate you guys. And peace, guys. Thank you guys again for watching. We'll be back this weekend over AA Mess and all her court shit. Okay, child? Because it's a lot of shit going on. It's a lot of shit going on. Peace, Diggable Logic. I appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. We out.